Hi all, it's Splatter Trigger here, and today I'm going to be doing a video segment on part of a series I like to do called Hidden Treasures. And what I usually do with these types of videos, I know I haven't done one in a long time, is when I started off unboxing my garage and going through my old video game collection, I would find video game related products that I thought were pretty cool, like strategy guides. I did one video, a couple strategy guides I did a video on, and the Coleco tabletop Mrs. Pac-Man arcade. Now, as I continued through the garage, I found a couple other things, and I also stopped over my parents' house and went through their, the attic and mine and my brother's old closets, finding more things. And one of these things I found over there, as the title of this video shows, is something that I thought I'd share with you all and showcase. And what they are a series of books put out by Scholastic Books called Worlds of Power that were based on NES games, and they were put out in the early 90s, namely 90 or 91, I think the majority of them were put out. And they were created by a man named Seth Godin, who actually didn't write any of the books. The books were all put under a pseudonym called FX9, but they were actually written by, I think, 4 or 5 different authors. And as I'll show you here in a minute, I'm actually missing 2 of the collection. There were 8 in the originals, and there was 2 in 2 books in the Junior World of Power series. There was only 2 of those. But I guess I'll just get to them and start showing them off to you. The first one that came out was Blaster Master, and what was pretty cool about these books, as you can see, besides the cover art being the same as the NES cover art, is that they all had a tip card in the center. Basically, if you had Nintendo Power back then, that was just starting off, you already knew what the tip was, and it was pretty much useless to you, but it was still pretty cool. You can see here, I don't know how well you can see it, if you held it up in the mirror, you had to see, read it in reverse or whatever, and you were able to read it by holding it in the mirror. As you can tell, these books are pretty thin. Back then, they were predominantly geared towards the market of young video game boys, basically. So that Blaster Master, the first one. Second one is Metal Gear, and I believe that Seth Godin, or maybe one of the authors, had a problem with the actual violence of more weapon based, because if you can see, Solid Snake's gun is actually missing. I don't know how well you can see that because it was edited out. This book also comes with the tip card in the center, and as the books go on, I'll show you that they get away from the tip cards and they go to end of the chapter tips instead of just having one per book. Number 3, Ninja Gaiden. This was actually one of my, I remember reading this a couple times. I actually liked this a lot. Also, with tip card here, and you can see you had to turn it upside down to read the hint at the end of the chapter right here. I don't know how well you can see that. So that's Ninja Gaiden. The next up was the number 4 in the series was Castlevania 2: Simon's Quest, but I actually know I read that. I don't remember if I actually owned it or borrowed it, but unfortunately, either or, I don't have it anymore. So the next one up in the series will be number 5 that I have, which is another one of my favorites, is Wizards and Warriors. And the reason this was one of my favorites is because I'm a big, even to this day, I was always a huge fantasy reader. I love fantasy novels. I can't get enough of the imagination that's put into it. So here's a tip card. Wizards and Warriors. Number 6, Bionic Commando. And you can see at this one that they still, let me show you here, still kept the tips at the end of the chapter, but they did away with the tip card. You can see there's no card in there. Now all the cards that that were in the center, like I'll just show you this, Wizards and Warriors again, were kind of like a baseball card. They had a perforated edge, and you could pull them out, and thank God, even back then, I knew better than to pull those things out. I know these probably aren't worth much this day and age, but it's nice to have them still. I love the nostalgic and retro feel when I found these things. I felt like a little child again, and that's what this is all about, right? Number 7, Infiltrator. Never played this game. If I did, I don't remember it, but I'm going to say I never played it. And if any of you ever have, whether it was good or bad, I didn't research it, so if you want to just kill some time or something, just shoot me some info on it. Leave a comment or something if you're interested in doing so. But you can see there was no tip card. They did away with it. But they have the game hints upside down in the back again at the end of the chapters, and that's Infiltrator. And the last one, and I think was between Wizards and Warriors, they were my top two favorites. But number 8, Before Shadowgate. Once again, fantasy novel, love it. Well, not a book, but I'm a big fantasy novel. I'm a book lover. Yeah, got that out. And you can see this one also. No tip card, but game hint as usual. And I don't know if I really showcased the back yet, but this is basically the standard back for all these. And now I'll go on to the Junior Worlds of Power. If you can see, they're bigger sized. Also a lot more thinner. I mean, these ones are only 73 pages with big lettering, as opposed to, say, it's not much, but smaller lettering. These averaged about 120 pages. There's really not much to them. Now, the other Junior books of World of Power, besides Mega Man 2, was Bases Loaded 2. And I know I never read that, so I can't help you out with the info on that one. I know I never even owned it. Probably saw it at the bookstore as a kid, said, why, even though I'm a big baseball fan, probably didn't care too much about it. So for all of you who are watching this and I really appreciate if you enjoyed this. Once again, another trip with me down memory lane. And this is my video for Worlds of Power. Splatter Trigger, thanking you all for watching. Take care, guys.